First sort of question is, what is sonic branding? And sonic branding is all around us. It's essentially the link between hearing a sound or a jingle and making a brand association. And each time we hear a jingle or a logo for a brand or product, this kind of association gets reinforced, and our ears are constantly encountering audio logos, idents, and sonic branding every day through whether that's through films, TV, advertising, or even when we turn on a computer. Obvious examples would be the five note I'm loving it jingle for McDonald's, or the tone you hear when you turn on an iMac. A good introductory book on this would be The Sonic Boom: How Sound Transforms the Way We Think, Feel, and Buy by Joel Beckerman and Tyler Gray. And I can also recommend, I think it's episode 48 of the podcast, 20,000 Hertz, which gives an excellent overview of audio logos and their creation. So if you're interested in some sort of further reading, I'd recommend both of those as sort of good places to start. So hearing is like this intense sense, obviously, and sound can be truly compelling and it can evoke an emotional response. And it can bring back memories and help recall memories. Sonic branding is a means of harnessing sound to help create a brand and to make associations with a brand. And it's just as important as sort of the visual side of the branding. I think, especially when it comes to logos and idents, that's true. Though it isn't solely limited to idents or logos, and sonic branding can go as far as sort of, say, the sound design of a car's engine, not the sort of like, in a filmic sense, but the literal sound of a car. I know there's a whole sort of, or a very niche part of sonic branding that's associated with that and like the very tone of a car and how you drive it and how that makes you feel. Or even another example would be the acoustic qualities of a restaurant or restaurant chain where like music's being piped in for ambience and how tables are situated like in relation to a kitchen and can you hear the sizzle of the food, etc. So it's a very sort of like broad emotional way to sort of connect a listener or a consumer with a brand. First thing we do when we're working on a project like this is to identify the key proponents of the brand, and in this case class creatives, and what it stands for as a brand, and what sounds can we create to help reinforce that brand and words associated with it, and how can we best translate these things into sound. There are two basic guidelines for any sort of sonic logo design, I would say, and one is to sort of keep it simple, and secondly, number two would be to try and evoke an emotional response in a listener. So I wanted to make sure the audio logo here worked on several different levels. So, and each component could stand on its own if necessary. So we'll take a look at each of these over the course of the lecture, but broadly it can be broken down into three different things. Firstly, would be sound design. Secondly, would be an arpeggio layer. And finally, would be the tonal sort of melody. So I'll play it again so we can hear it all once more.